going into the game, we talked about, three things that were going to be really, really important. One is our defensive intensity in terms of guarding, Butler inside, leading scorer, leading rebounder. Really challenged Mike and Antune and BJ on that. And we talked about trying to, control the guy who was freshman of the year in the league last year in Winter, and obviously Walton was coming off the bench for them, was their second leading scorer. So we had to do a good job on him. And then offensively, we wanted to be really efficient, drive the ball. We thought we could get the ball in the paint offensively off drives and post-ups. And we talked about getting to the offensive glass. So I thought our guys did a tremendous job in all three of those areas. Their shooting percentage was a little higher than I'd like, but one of the reasons is we forced 18 turnovers, 19 turnovers. So sometimes it wasn't a missed shot, they didn't get a shot up. So our intensity and our energy was tremendous, as indicated by 17 offensive rebounds, forcing 19 turnovers, and we only had 8, which could be a new lifetime record for us in terms of that. So then we made some big free throws down the stretch as well after starting off a little slow. So proud of our guys. You come off a final sometimes that first game in a bit of time and you might be a little sluggish, but I thought our guys came out and played with great energy and gave a great effort today in a really quality win.
Coach said 23-2 run over the second part of the second half. What did you see defensively happen for you?
We did two main things. One, we really emphasized on the ball screen, getting up and hedging that, trying to make Winter a little more uncomfortable. I thought Castaneda did a really good job in that. LaQuincy moved over to Walton. And then David was guarding the shooter Washington, so it did a couple things. Quince was able to get into Walton a little more, and then David, being able to guard a shooter at times off the ball, was able to kind of sniff some stuff out, and he came up with a couple big steals and a big block as well. But our activity level during that time, we talked about it, we were good offensively from start to finish. We missed some open shots, but we were pretty efficient. 44% from the field. We missed some open threes. We were getting to the free throw line. We were getting offensive rebounds. But it was going to have to be on the defensive end that we were able to stretch the lead, and that's exactly what we did.
You talk about your big defense on Butler. 0 points in 34 minutes. He came in averaging 14.
Yeah. So, obviously toughness and is in that kid's DNA. His dad was as tough a player as there was around. And we just kind of challenged our bigs. They had to wall him up. They couldn't give him an angle. We felt that if we were able to wall him up around the basket, he's good enough to start sliding out to 15 feet. And we talked about not giving him any space on those shots. And that's exactly what we did. We did a really good job on that. And it was first Mike and then Antune, and then they both got in foul trouble, and we needed BJ to do it the last 6 minutes of the first half, and he did. And then Mike and Antune really did a great job the entire second half. And we kept him off the offensive glass. He got 2 of them, but there was no rebound and putback. When he got it, he was swarmed in there, and just didn't give him any breathing room. Didn't give him any breathing room. And we made him work on defense, which always helps you on the other end. We were keeping him on the move with our ball screen stuff, and our big guys were posting up. We wanted to physically get into him every single play to try to wear him down, because he's such a good player, and it's such a big drop when he has to come out.
Obviously, big milestones for DC and JB today. How happy are you for?
What was JB's?
3-pointers made, top 10.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously first with David, one of the first guys to commit here, for no reason whatsoever, and he's just done an unbelievable job in a little over 2 years to get to the 1,000 mark. And he's been so efficient offensively over the last couple weeks. He gets 20, what does he get, 21? What does he get
23.
tonight?
Yeah.
23 tonight on 12
shots.
But when you think about it, he's meant so much to this program, and I still he gets mad at me. I still think he's just scratching the surface, in terms of how good he can be. And then, JB obviously is a guy that we need to make those shots, and made a couple critical free throws down the stretch, and did a lot of other things, 4 offensive rebounds. He's become much more than just a three-point shooter. Back when he was younger, if he wasn't making the three, it was maybe hard to keep him out there. Wasn't as good as he needed to be defensively. Didn't, he always played hard, but now, he gets 4 offensive rebounds. He gets 8 rebounds tonight, So he's really, him and David obviously have kind of faced the biggest change with how we got to play now. And they've, accepted it and made the sacrifices for it, and now they're starting to kind of get a feel for it and are starting to play really well.
Drexel had good size.
Yeah.
Wednesday, you're going to play a team that's gigantic.
Yep.
Thoughts looking ahead to Utah State?
Yeah, obviously, they're not only gigantic, they're old. They're the oldest team in college basketball. I think one of them celebrated the same birthday as I did today. They're just, and they're really good. They don't beat themselves. They're huge, harder to score around the basket. They really wall it up. Offensively, they can play over the top of you. And with Merle, scoring the ball, he's a dynamic scorer. To be honest with you, I've only seen bits and pieces of them. In about a half hour, I'll get a little better feel in terms of starting to watch film on them. But, we scheduled this game with the idea that we'd be playing a top 25 team on a neutral site. And I know they lost a tough one yesterday, but they're going to be, when the season's over, that's exactly where they're going to be. There's no doubt about it. And they're super well coached. They know who they are. They're very mature, as I said, and they play that way. Every single possession. They do not take a possession off when it comes to the style and the maturity that they play with.
Do you feel like you guys are playing your best basketball of the season so far coming into this 2-game stretch?
Yeah, you take a look at it, and there was, probably a game and a half in the Caymans where we didn't defend the way we needed to defend. But even you go before that, the game against Wofford, we started kind of figuring it out and started playing better. And then the last few games defensively, we're obviously much improved. And offensively starting to find some areas that we can kind of become more efficient in. So, yeah, the season's young, and we're still, trying to get our bearings in terms of, against now other teams. What can we do to be successful? What do we need to accomplish? One, the lack of the limited turnovers today. Obviously, we're just such a better offensive team, and we're better defensively when we don't turn the ball over as well. That's a big key. You know what I mean? To our guys' credit, you lose 2 really good rebounders, and we just won the battle on the glass 39-27. We really only have two true post players, and we just did a really good job on a post player that I think went for 16 and 12 against Temple and is averaging 14 and 12. So 2 of the areas that we should be really concerned with, our guys have really embraced and done a good job. Now, can we keep getting better defensively, guarding the ball? Can we keep getting better taking care of the ball and offensive efficiency? I think we can. And I think those guys are starting to, kind of figure that out. So are we playing our best? Yeah, we're playing our best, but I think we can keep getting better.
Okay.
All good?